General Garland, thank you for your service. I really appreciate all the wonderful service you've given our country. I'd like to say first about West Virginia. We're home to NASA, to the Customs and Border Protection, Bureau of Fiscal Services. We have the CGIS, FBI Center. The people there are concerned. They're hearing rumors there's going to be some cutbacks and movement of personnel in CGIS. If you could check that out, that's been tremendously, I understand, tremendously effective agency that's been working there, and Director Ray has just come down and spent some time there. We went together through it, and all of a sudden we've heard that the CGIS may have some loss of jobs or transfer of jobs, and the people they're hearing these rumors. So if you could help me relieve them of that fear, it'd be very much appreciated. Also, the Hazleton prison we have in the prison system, Hazleton, it's had some violent crimes there, but they're having a tremendous problem with shortages of personnel. And there's a law, and we've directed money to be spent there, and it's been in your budget. But for some reason, they're not able to either find employees that want to work there, or the environment, or whatever it may be. And I would hope that you would look into that personally, because that's been a very important system for the Bureau of Prisons, but it's been very troubled.
Yeah, this question of retention and hiring has been a big problem in all the prisons. And as I mentioned, we have a new program which we worked out with the Office of Personnel Management to allow us to provide incentives for retention and hiring.
What we need is a maximum security thing, and they get some pretty rough characters come through there, and I meet with the staff quite frequently, and they have very much concerns. They'd love to have your attention and your help. The drug epidemic, I can't speak enough about the problems. We're ground zero as West Virginia. And in that situation, that scenario we know, as you said, the precursors are coming from China. Is there no way that we can do anything to stop that, or have China be responsible, knowing that it's been going into the cartels for the manufacturing of fentanyl? We know what's happening. And is there any chance at all the United States government can just say, hey, enough's enough? I mean, we've lost more people to these overdoses than any war we've ever fought, and to sit back and do nothing. Can we spend special ops, special forces to match up with the Mexican government if they have a determination to do something? If not, can we, for the benefit of America, do it on our own? Can we go in there, take care of the problem, and root it out if they're not going to do it?
Well, let me just start with drug problems in West Virginia. As I hope you were advised, we just arrested organizations.
It was it's a very big, yeah.
Yeah, the largest methamphetamine seizure in West Virginia history, well over 200 pounds.
You have a good man there, U.S. Attorney Will Thompson. He used to be a federal judge. I mean, he's just a wonderful person, right person, did a heck of a job.
So we're doing the right thing in West Virginia, and we've got...
There'll be a lot more to do, but we got to stop the flow of the drugs coming in.
Absolutely, and I think that one of the things we have to do with respect to the precursors are to identify and then sanction the manufacturers in China, and then interdict.
But quickly, is there anything we can do with China suppliers and also the producers down in Mexico, and take it upon ourselves to go after Mexican cartels if the Mexican government won't do it?
Well, I'm going to leave that question to the diplomats in the Defense Department. Okay. As far as we're concerned, the DEA is working with them, trying to encourage them to work more together with respect to tackling the cartels. This is a whole-of-government effort. We just sent the Deputy Attorney General, the Deputy of Homeland Security, the Deputy National Security Advisor, all just went down again to Mexico to meet with the President and their security ministers to try to encourage them more on these joint operations.
My final question, sir, is concerning Ukraine, and I know you just made a visit there. I've called that the most just war that we've ever been in my lifetime, because we're there for the right reason, trying to defend the freedoms and democracies that these countries desire when they have these unwanted attacks, and this absolute horrific attack by Putin. Can you discuss the department's work to hold Russian accountable for the war crimes committed? Can you also provide an updated department's klepto-capture work to seize illicit Russian assets for the benefit of the Ukrainian people? And finally, I understand Ukraine's made tremendous progress in tackling their corruption within its society, which has been systemic. Can you discuss some of the progress that's been made? So first, I guess you could start with, if you can, the Russian war crimes.
Yeah, I'll get you the numbers separately, so
Sure.
as to not to take the time, but the purpose of this visit of mine was to meet with President Zelensky and with the Prosecutor General, as well as the Prosecutor Generals of all the surrounding countries, all of whom are participating in war crimes investigations. The Prosecutor General has some 40,000 war crimes already registered. The Justice Department is providing forensic help on the ground in Ukraine to evaluate the crime scenes. We're about to put a prosecutor embedded with the Prosecutor General in Kyiv. We have stood up a IT for them using some of what we learned in our various big case, digital case investigations here, because everybody in Ukraine has an iPhone, and there's millions and millions of digital images of these war crimes as they were occurring. So we're putting that all together. We are supporting efforts in The Hague for a tribunal that will be capable of trying the war criminals. And I've assigned Eli Rosenbaum, who is the head of our Nazi hunting entity in the Justice Department, to lead what we call our War Crimes Accountability Task Force. So that's on that side. On the klepto capture, again, here I met again with a number of the justice ministers when I was in Ukraine. Is my second visit. And here we are in enormous agreement among the EU countries to locate, freeze, and seize the assets of Russian oligarchs who are facilitating this unlawful and unprovoked attack. We have been quite successful in the amount of money that we've seized, and I've already certified a transfer of some of that money to Ukraine for rebuilding, which is the first time we've ever been able to do that kind of forfeiture. On the corruption front, I've spoken heart to heart with the Prosecutor General along with our ambassador. We've gotten made clear to them that our own willingness to continue to provide funds depends on them being sure that the funds go to what they should be going to, and that to not be used with respect to corruption. This is also a condition for ultimate admission to the EU. They are seized with this. They are very concerned to be sure that they eliminate that issue. And as you probably know, about maybe a month before I went to Ukraine, they arrested quite a number of high-level Ukrainian officials on that guard. We'll get you more information on the specifics, for example.
Thank you, sir. I'm so sorry, Madam Chairman.